Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to another One Piece video featuring your girl, Charlotte Pudding. Get ready for a very, very spicy matchup today in the form of Pudding playing into Mono Purple Luffy. A matchup in which we haven't seen in a very long time and or had to deal with. Unfortunately, 8-cost Katakuri is a card. Gum Gum Giant, we love it, we hate it. It's also a card. Luffy also has access to Ramp, Bon Clay, 7-cost Sanji. This deck is still very, very scary in the current format. Zoro Joro, if you want to. And then, of course, you have the other Luffy, Luffy Taro, which can also be played here in this deck list, along with the 6-drop Luffy. This list can actually be built in a lot of different ways currently. But, with that being said, this is still a scary deck to deal with as Pudding. Now, we're going to go ahead and try our hand at this matchup and see what we can do here, and hope for the best. Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to go ahead and dive into this matchup here today with Pudding playing into Purple Luffy, in which you're not going to believe how many misplays we make this game, in which, after watching back this video, I feel like the outcome of this game could have definitely changed on both of our parts. His and mine, of course, but this is how we learn things, right? Like by watching back content, by watching back games in which you can see your mistakes, you can grow from it, you can learn from it. This is how you do it. Or, you know, you ask your opponent. Because a lot of times I feel like when they go to locals, there's a lot of players out there, whether it's the person that's sitting next to me or behind me or across me or what have you. When they finish a match, they just say, good game, they move on. They don't talk about why they make certain plays or why they did certain things to, instead of doing something else differently, because you're not really learning if you're not asking these questions. So I feel like having these videos here, not only for me but for you guys, we all can learn from something, which is kind of nice. In any case, this matchup is very, very challenging for me, especially because Luffy can also ramp as fast as I can. I think it's a little bit faster, it's more consistent, because he has access to his leader skill and then Bon Clay on a turn. So, speaking of Bon Clay, that's 2 Dawn there. There are some turns where I can ramp up twice in a turn, but I really only need to do it like 1 time. He can just ramp whenever he feels like it, which is kind of nice. In any case, we're at 6 here. So let's do the thing. We'll play down the Katakuri, flip the life back down, and ramp up and active. And then we'll play down the Pudding. Unfortunately, though, in hindsight, I think I should have played down the 1-cost event here instead of dropping the Pudding Searcher on board. Which I think it was a little bit too late. So it is what it is. We'll go flip these cards back face up. Gain arrested. Going 5. We get a Bon Clay from hand, that looks like. Yeah, we'll go and drop the Pudding. But I feel like we should have did the event and kept the Pudding in hand just for counter for later, but that's fine. We'll take the 10-cost Mom. So now we have 3 bricks, or technically 4 bricks with the event. We're an 8 Dawn. Luffy is also on 9 Dawn, it looks like here. So that would mean 5k swing from lead. Bon Clay, he's going to save this turn. He's not going to swing at all. He's going to wait until Big Mom comes down. We'll give you a 2k here. I like to try to stay healthy in this matchup if possible. So now he goes to 9. That's leader skill. Plays down Rush Luffy. Minuses a Dawn. Draws free card. Goes 10 lead. We have to take this hit. I'm not too sure why we did, but we decided to take this hit in this situation. I guess it's because I know we're going to drop 10 Mom here, he'll back up anyhow. And it was probably better for us to keep our blocker on board for 1 more turn, because he has the Bon Clay swing. So there's a 10 Mom. We'll burn life, we'll heal up, and we'll pass back over. I mean, so far it's looking pretty good, right? So far. Luffy's on 1, we're on 3, we have a 12k body established. But this turn, he's got 3 attacks, plus Sanji Rush, or another 9-drop Luffy, if possible. So that would be 4 swings this turn for him, in which we only have 1 blocker. Unless it's a Sanji, then we have none. So, he's going to go 5 lead here. We'll give him another 2k counter. $10k. I should have guarded here with Anana, but instead we take the hit, we get a pudding. Because now he has an option of swinging with Bond Clay. Then I guess we'll guard out if he wants to swing in the Kata here. If he wants to go for life, we'll take the life hit, but if he wants to go for the Katakuri, we'll guard this turn. From hand, probably. And that is what we do, which is unfortunate for me. Because Bond Clay is a very, very scary card in this matchup. And I'm opted to bring them into this deck as well, just because I can copy, Rush Luffy and or 8-cost Katakuri, in which every Luffy variant runs. So he's going to swing 12 into 7. We're going to go to 10. That's 12. There's 13. So we'll keep Katakuri on board. Plays Katakuri himself. I figured that was okay to do that, just because I didn't think he would have a Rush Sanji here. I figured he would actually try to wall up with Katakuri. I think he had no choice but to do this, especially when he knows we might have. Well, I guess he knows that we have the other 10 Mom. So, and then here's my misplay here, where we go 12k lead instead of going 12k into the 8-cost Katakuri on board. Because it makes no sense for me to swing 12k to face here when I'm just going to drop the 10-cost Mom to rip the life, right? So this is just a free life for him to go to hand. You know what I mean? He gets a free +1, and there's no negative sides to this because he still has the blocker on board. I should have went 12 in the Kata and forced him to give me cards from hand, instead of just playing the Big Mom after I swung, you know what I mean? I didn't really think about it at the time. It just 12k face, play Big Mom, do a thing. And now we might be cooked. He's on 10 Don again. If he wants to drop Sanji now, he can play Sanji, rest the blocker, and then swing 10k into Katakuri, I suppose. Because that's a play. He's got 3 Don left over at that point. He could do this so many different ways. Play Sanji, rest blocker, play Gamma Knife on Big Mom. Run Luffy into Big Mom. You know what I mean? And then still keep up a Don for Gum Gum Giant. He also gets to keep the blocker on board, has Gum Gum in hand. 7k Kata swing, perhaps, maybe, unless we attach Don to it. There's just so many outcomes that he could do this turn. If he has Gamma Knife, that is. So here comes the Sanji play. Minus is a Don for the ability. Yep. He's going to swing that into there. He does have the Gamma Knife in hand. Perhaps that's what he was contemplating on doing. We have no counter. Remember, we have Katakuri in the 1-cost event. So we're kind of bricked up right now. And while the Kata just went to the trash here, he has to know that we have no cards in hand like we could have countered out there. So he's probably feeling good about that. Otherwise, we would have kept the Katakuri on board. So you can go 5 lead. We're going to have to take this hit. We get a Viola. Not that we wanted to, but we had no choice, really. He's leaving 3 Don up here. You might as well just go 10k to face with Luffy here. We can't really retaliate into it. Like, we have to go face next turn. But I think he's contemplating on dropping the Gamma Knife here to take out the Big Mom. I think that might be risky business. Alright, so he's going to go 10k lead. We take the Shirahoshi, so we got a Viola and a Shirahoshi in hand. He's also going to go 8k face. We'll take that as well. No counter. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. It's all or nothing here. He left up 3 Dawn, which is a telltale sign he's probably got some Giants in hand. And we can do a lot of different things here, but he's got 4 attackers on board, so hypothetically speaking, we could drop down 2-cost Katakuri, play 8-cost Kata, play Viola and Shirahoshi, get down 3 blockers for 6 Dawn, which is really, really good. At that point, we have 9k for Pudding, and then 12k and 12k for Big Mom. And that's probably what we should have done, maybe, but he still has 4 attackers on board. So if he has another Sanji there, he can rest one of our blockers, and then he just wins game that way. So it's a little risky. The more optimal play, like at the end of this game here, was to do 13-13 with Big Mom, but then 13 with lead. Because what we do now, I think, just costs us the game in general. But you aren't really prepared to deal with 3 Gum Gum Giants in a row, like on the same turn. It doesn't normally happen, let's be fair. And this is the first time this has ever happened to me in general, playing against any Luffy variant. 3 Gum Gum Giants, all in hand, he's got them all. And it's about to be really, really sad. Because now we're going to go 17k. So, he either has to have counter or give me the blocker here. Because of course we're also going to go 17k with Big Mom, depending on what he decides to do. Once we see the first Gum Gum Giant come down, we already know we lost the game. Because there's no way he would risk on Gum Gum Giant here instead of guarding out with Katakuri. Because you have to no block, right? He's no blocking. Then he's going to play down Gum Gum Giant. There goes the Gamma Knife. Draws 2, so he's 9k now. There's a second Giant. Draws 2 more. He has to pitch. There's his Zoro. Draws the second card. So remember, he's at 13. Third Gum Gum Giant. Draws 2 more cards. Needs a 1k. Gives me the 1k Bond Clay. Like, what do you want me to do in that scenario? Like I said, after this matchup, in hindsight, we should have done 13-13 with Big Mom, but then 13 with lead. Right? And that would have probably got us the game. Because after seeing what he had in hand here, I think that was just the right way to do it. In which I didn't really anticipate on him having all 3 Giants. Because 9 out of 10, a lot of Luffy players in general, they just like to bluff. I mean, it's true, right? It's what you should do. It's 1 Dawn. But having all 3 in hand on 1 turn is kind of nutty, to be fair. Just going to go ahead and go 12k lead here. And all he has to do here is guard out with Katakuri. Yep. I mean, just go 5 with Pudding. Well played, man. That's a Law. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this game today with Pudding playing into Mono Purple Luffy. I think we did fantastic, actually. I think we had a really, really good showing here. I think the only misplay that we had there was at the end of the game where we should have swung 3 swings at 13k. Being able to swing with Big Mom here would have been crazy because we would have had 3 Big Mom swings if we attached, 1 Dawn to this. That's swinging for 13-13 and attach everything else to Pudding for 13k. He would have needed Gum Gum Giants, let alone hands, to counter out of every single one of those. And I think if we would have done it that way, it would have been a little bit more efficient. Outside of that, we had a turn in which we decided to take life, which could have been any of the blockers, where we had the Anana on board. And this is prior to him playing down the Sanji to rest it. if we had guarded one of those swings, we'd at least had one more life. Not that that would have mattered, but it's just a misplay in which that we did, in which we shouldn't have, if that makes sense to you. Now, outside of that, Gum Gum Giant is a card. I'm not salty that we lost, not upset. It's just one of those ordeals. People love to complain about this card, and if you don't ready yourself for it, you can't really, oh, the card's OP. No, man, it's just the way the card is, man. It's pretty good. You -2 Dawn, you gain 4,000 power. It is a pretty strong card. But my boy had 3 in hand. Okay, what do you want me to do? 17k swing, Big Mom. He plays 3 giants. It is what it is. Although we had a good game, man. I'm pretty happy with how we played the matchup overall, and I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, hit that like button so we get these things floating around. I will catch you guys in the very next one. Stay safe out there. I'll see y'all in a little bit.